Today, do you know the proper etiquette to nail that interview for the big job you want?
We're going to learn today.
Welcome back to Those Two Guys Show. I'm Steve Powers, followed by my big compadre, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No. Ben Crawford is the name.
Ben Crawford. Good guy.
Thanks, man.
Of an athlete. And stitches.
Stink, right? And the stitches
Right,
every
stitches.
time.
So today we're going to talk about, you got the big interview, the big job coming up.
Right.
And you're nervous. You don't know really what to do. Butterflies in the gut.
Yeah.
So today we're going to give you the techniques and the ability
And
to
the know-how.
seal and the know-how to seal the deal to get that job.
Yeah. Now, we've had a lot of experience in jobs, losing jobs, gaining jobs. Either way,
I've lost a lot of jobs.
we've got experience. That's all we're saying. We
Yeah.
don't even talk about it.
Yep.
You should have been near that the playground anyway,
Yeah, right. You should have been at least 500 meters away.
says the judge.
Court system. Keeping the man down. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the first step. It's always steps with us. So step one, if you go to a job interview, what's going to separate you from everybody else?
Right. I mean, every time you go to a job application or a job interview, several applications are in, several interviews are conducted that week probably, not
Right.
just that day, that week.
Right.
So what would you do, Steve? How is it that Steve Powers dominates the interview?
I would show up naked.
Okay.
Just show up naked.
Right.
Because they're looking at a list. They got all these names, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's Steve Powers, Brian Johnson, Tom Brokaw, Brian Williams, Matt Lauer, right? Steve Powers.
What are you applying for?
I don't know. Pilot. So I would show up and I'd be like, I'm naked. Now,
Just flaunting it.
I'm all natural,
Right.
right? We're all humans. We all have flesh,
Yeah.
right? You show up naked and they're like, Steve Powers.
That makes sense because that relieves immediately a lot of your big thoughts. Should I dress professional? Should I dress casual? Should I show a little cleavage? That's always one of my things.
Yep, I've done that for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I sit like this a lot.
Hey.
Hurts my back.
Good to see you guys.
What is that? What is that? It's a little cleavage. You know, so now on a checklist, they're like, oh, Steve Powers, butt naked, check mark.
Sorry.
If I could turn back time.
So naked, okay. So guys, that's definitely going to put you in a standpoint where someone's going to remember you. Hey, Steve Powers, the naked guy.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
I remember him. Second, what I recommend is that you kind of slightly embellish your resume just a little. I know that's probably not legal. I don't know if it is or not. If it is, you didn't hear it from me. Okay? I'm not saying go crazy. I'm not saying you worked for NASA from 1945 to 1966.
Right.
If you did, you're older. You're an older guy or a lady, because that's possible.
Yeah.
Did ladies have rights then?
The 45? No,
They didn't.
they didn't. What I would do is, like on your resume, I would make myself sound like a demigod.
Yeah.
You know, what makes you qualify for this job? Well, the fact that I can stop time.
I got the abilities, man.
I can shut it down right now, and we can go back in time and fix problems that we had.
Like I put on there, the Matrix is based off my life.
Right. Right. I'm
That's
Neo.
I'm Neo.
Neophobia, which we talked about.
We did discuss neophobia in an earlier episode.
And that's a real thing. I mean, it's a real phobia, so Neo is real.
That's a fact. I mean, if one's real, the other has to be real too.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Just like 1 plus 1 equals 2.
Tit for
You
tat.
can't have a 2 without 1 plus 1.
Right. 1 plus 1 or a 3 plus 8.
That's not...
That's 1 1.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
Okay. Well,
That
there's a
was...
lot of math.
All right, that's fair. All right. So embellish just a little bit. Just like, hey, I can solve 14 Rubik's Cubes in 11 minutes. That's I feel like that's impressive.
That's really impressive.
Yeah. What does that does that have anything to do with your job? Probably not, unless you work at a toy store.
Right. Right. Or a Rubik's Cube, like defection company. Like if the Rubik's Cube didn't work and you could solve it.
And you win.
And you win. And you did 11 of those. That's pretty quick.
No, if you can solve a Rubik's Cube, I challenge you to like this video. The challenge.
Can you do it? A Rubik's Cube?
At the beginning, when I first buy it, I can.
I cheated mine, and I boiled it and took all the stickers off and redid it.
Yeah, I just put
it's perfect.
Fingernail polish on my mom's fingernail polish. All one color.
They were all red. Nailed it. Nailed it.
All right.
Hey, your next big thing is during the interview, there's a lot of questions that are going to come out at you. They're pretty quick.
I don't like to answer questions.
I don't like it either. I hate it. So what I like to do is answer a question with a question.
Okay, let's do it. Can we role play?
Let's do it.
Okay. Tell me a little about yourself.
Well, I'd like to know a little bit about you. What do you do?
Well,
Stomped. Stomped.
What does that show?
That we're interacting. Active listening. I hear what you're asking. It's a question with a question. So I heard your question. I'm validating it with a question that I have for you. So what do you like to do?
Okay. I like to play Mangola.
Mangola. Is that a good game for you?
Yeah, it is. Well, let's get back interview time.
Okay.
What qualifies you for this job?
What made you qualify for your job?
Hey, you know what? Congratulations.
I quit.
Immediately.
And you're fired because you're a horrible boss.
You quit and then fired me.
You're done. You got the job. You're in and out. It's on your resume. I worked at NASA for 17 seconds. Right?
You're always applying for NASA.
Well, I like it.
Okay, that's fine.
I think it's pretty.
All right. Another thing, I like to show up at their residence, not in business time. Like, how do I know when to show up? I know several times might be an occasion at their home. Perhaps Christmas morning.
Yes. Yes.
Thanksgiving Day.
Yep.
Black Friday.
Black Friday. No, I don't.
I don't know.
Okay.
Either way, show up at their house with your resume, introduce yourself, and let's sit down and have dinner together.
Right.
We're gonna have Christmas morning dinner together.
Yeah.
If you're Jewish, we're gonna have the other thing.
There's so many resumes in the pile, right?
Yeah.
So you show up and you're like, you hit that door. You don't knock. You hit it. You're like, remember me? Mother, I applied for this job. Here's my resume and my picture, right?
Yeah, you won't remember me.
Remember me now?
Yeah, we're gonna get this job together. We're both applying now.
When's my interview?
Right now?
And if that's the case, then you take off your clothes.
Yeah, and then in some
you
cases,
use the techniques we talked about at the beginning.
listen, the cops might get called during that.
They might be. There's a good chance.
But due to all the riots right now,
right,
for the political campaigns,
yeah,
they won't even show up because they're busy doing.
They're so
things.
busy with that stuff.
So right now it's a perfect time.
This
guys.
is about a resume.
This is a perfect time.
Yeah, I would do it.
Okay,
I've done it before.
I bet you have. That's why you're where you're at today.
You know, one of the big things when you go to an interview is they want to see you in your natural state. How do you? What is Ben Crawford or Steve Powers? So, if your natural state is you're drunk, then you show up drunk.
I don't know if that's good.
No, it's they want to see what you are, right? So you show up, you're a little slow to answer, just natural, right? You might eat all their flowers out of their pot dish.
Yeah, because usually if you show up to an interview, you're usually kind of stiff.
Right, you're scared.
Hello.
You're nervous.
My name is Ben Crawford, and I like your job. No one's going to hire that weird robot.
Nope.
What would you look like in an interview? Just you, natural, at a
right now?
Yeah.
Like, what's up? Remember that one time?
Hey.
Remember that time down by the creek?
No. That wasn't me there. You remember though?
You been by a creek?
Yes, I have.
It's one of my favorite spots. Right? And then now we're like friends.
Get loose. Crack a beer while you're in there.
That works great.
Bring a second beer.
Yeah.
Because
in your pocket.
It's warm.
They'll be a little warm.
But you know, if you're a real man or lady, perhaps,
Yes,
you can drink a warm beer.
you can. Might not taste
It's
so good.
called acting, people.
Yeah.
I mean, I can drink a warm can of piss if I'm in a desert survival situation. But we're getting off topic.
Yeah, that's totally different.
That's episode number 13.
Hey, the last big step
Yeah.
is when you do your interview, you leave like you freaking nailed it.
Yeah.
Right? That's cash. That's
Oh,
cash
yeah.
in the pocket. So,
Confidence booster.
yep. So now you leave, you're like, hey, appreciate your time. Had a great time. You're butt naked, right? So you stand up like, what time do I start?
Yeah.
Remember Kenny down the mailroom? We're going to be hitting that tomorrow.
I'm Kenny in the mailroom.
So you already know.
Secrets out.
Facebook.
Look, if this doesn't help you get a job, I don't know what will. Maybe you're just not qualified for that position. But if you're qualified and there's several people putting a resume in, guess what? You nailed it. And if you nailed that job you've been looking for, C. Power's been looking for that NASA job.
Yep.
Did that stitches again?
Yeah, that's real bad.
Sorry. If you're looking for that Mel job at the NASA studios, that's what it's called.
Where they filmed the moon landing. That's a totally different thing. Sorry.
Okay, we can't talk about that. But if you don't have if you don't have an issue with your job information, whatever, you know what we're talking about. Go back to the beginning. Cite the beginning of this video. You know what we're talking about. If you can't get that job that you've really wanted, and you've tried everything we just talked about, and you don't get the job, and perhaps you get arrested, that's all on us, man. That's on you. That's a you problem.
That's a you problem.
No, because we get every job we want, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That's it. Hey, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for commenting. Thanks for everything.
Thanks for everything you give us.
Hey, well, we appreciate you guys coming to watch our videos. Tune in next week when we have another video for you. And that's it. We're out.
As always,
you're only hungry when you don't eat.